welcome to Reelin Films. I do hope that you enjoy this video. Don't forget, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell. Like that you guys can get notified for anything and everything movie and series related here at Reel in Films. I hope you enjoy this video. Good morning, Alex. How are you doing today?
Good, good. Thank you.
So we're going to be talking about your role in the film Sunrise. You play Fallon in the film. So starting off straightforward, how was your process to or your research to become this character Fallon?
Uh, well, first of all, I worked very closely with Andrew, the director. I think if you've seen the film, it's like a very heavily visual film, and I think working closely with him, we came to this conversation of mysticism, and these ominous traditions that happen in Northern Ireland, which is where we filmed. And then just like the common thread of what the narrative of this story is and the themes throughout the story, which is basically fear, how each character is dealing with fear. One being the fear of death, which Guy's character has. Then the characters of the family dealing with the loss of their husband slash father and the fear of losing their farm. And then my character being kind of, death itself, shall we say, and his fear of finding his placement. And yeah, so going on that journey and that and those like heavy conversations with Andrew, things started to develop. And then I went away and I read a few books, and I just had one rule. I said, I am not in this to make a vampire themed film. I'm in to make a film about family and the struggles that people go through in in their life and in these situations. And kudos to Andrew, he kept to that.
Okay. Yeah, so I did speak to Andrew, and one of the things that I did mention to him is that at the beginning of the film it tells you like this story of a folklore or mythical creature that's on the forest. Uh
Yeah.
so he did mention that there was a lot of back and forward to see where they're going to be taking the story. And uh while you were filming, did you add anything to your character, like
I
additional?
I think it was more I subtracted a lot from my character. I think initially he came in to this family's life with a lot of confusion, and the story centered around more of his narrative of like quote unquote revenge. And I said to Andrew, I was like, I don't think that's like necessarily interesting. I feel like we see that all the time in films and kind of feeds more into that horror genre slash revenge. And I said, I think it's really beautiful to tell a story about a family struggling with, subject matters that are very relevant of today. And the hardships that they're going through, and having a character come in and project those, project the like put a magnifying glass on those things, but also with no judgment, and this ominous character, even though he's heightening the reality of what they're living, he ultimately is not their savior, but makes them come to the realization of how they can save themselves, which I think is much better because, you know, when this family, I'm trying not to give away too much, are dealing with, um, racism, being subjected to certain um, targeted attack on them for their wealth, or the only wealth that they have left. If you have the anti-hero or hero come in and save the day, I was like, that's not really interesting. What's interesting is seeing this family that are dealing with these struggles, how they overcome adversity and kind of prevail themselves. And so I think that feeds into the film. I don't know if you saw the film, but I'm really proud that was the narrative that we chose, or I didn't choose, Andrew chose. And then as far as the red coat, he's a metaphor of death. He's like the Grim Reaper, and the fear of death is what we all have, because it's one chapter closing to another chapter opening, but it's the unknown. And when you have this confusion of unknown, you have fear, and that feeds not only just into death, but it feeds into the fear of what will happen to us if we lose our farm, what happens to us if this ominous character who comes into this village, what is he going to do? There's some interesting layers to the movie.
Yeah, I did get to see it. It's an amazing film. I love the fact that it didn't go to the mythical side. It was straight more about the characters and about the family. So that's one of the things that I did mention to Andrew that makes the film so vivid in so many ways. And Alex, this is going to be my final question for you today. If you would describe Sunrise with one word, what would it be?
Sunset.
Sunset?
You can't watch the sunrise, you can only watch the sunset.
That is true. Oh, that was great. That was great. Alex, thank you for giving us the time to talk about Sunrise. Your amazing character, Fallon as well. And I really do hope that everybody enjoys Sunrise as much as I imagine that you and myself did when we watched it.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you. Have a great day and bye-bye.
Bye bye.